Me to feel sorry for you? Feel sorry that you did what you did.
Shekinah.
Sarper, you ripped my hair extension out of my head. Every time I see the side of you that's angry, every time I see that, it changes how I see you.
To be honest with you, that's one of the worst things that could ever happen in a relationship, is when your partner or one of you starts to see the other one in a different way. Because then that is the beginning of the crack within the trust in that relationship. That is the beginning where paranoia starts to step in. And that's one of those areas where if you don't recover it soon, it's going to be a long journey ahead. Because what you don't want is a partner that's always going to be anxious around you, be worried that, oh, you might do this, or oh, you may do that. That's why it's important that we behave accordingly at all times when we are with our partner. Never in a way that's going to put fear into them. Because once you put fear into them, that trust, decreases. The paranoia increases. Amongst any other things that can happen along the line too. So she's got a fair point when she says that. And that's something that I believe that he definitely needed to hear.
It was so overwhelming for you, first of all, that I wanted a vanity.
I want the future plans, telling to my family so much me.
To me,
Show
if
me
you
the
just
way.
want, no.
It's kind of wild because, you know, after she mentions the whole thing about, you know, you took out my hair extensions and whatnot, he's talking about, oh, I got overwhelmed in the situation, and he got overwhelmed because of everything that's going on with the K1 visa, telling his family that he's leaving, amongst other things. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking, but that's not a reason. That's not a good enough reason to put your hands on somebody. I mean, well, let me not say it that way. It's not a reason to then be in a position where you then end up ripping out your women's hair. That's just unacceptable, you know? At the end of the day, in this situation, regardless of what she's got to say to you, your only reply should be, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No reply at any point should be, yeah, but this is what happened. Because this isn't one of the situations where there's a but. It may have been if things were different in a provoking way, but it's not like you was in a situation where she provoked you. And I'm not saying that him being provoked would be a good enough reason for him to even do anything anyway. But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes when people are provoked, they can then talk, when they have a conversation about it, they can say, well, this is what happened. And these are the things that you did that then got me to da 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 da. And then this is why I end up doing da 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 da. Now, at that point, that's when they can then talk about what they want to do moving forward. You know, is it a case of where one seeks help, or is it a case of where she says, no, I've got to bounce, whatever. But either way, though, that's not the situation. This situation, okay, is as clear as day. Him sitting there and talking about, I've been overwhelmed with things I've been planning, is nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. Like, that's just called avoiding your full accountability. And he was doing so well as well. But let's continue with Mr. Help, can you show me the way? Imagine that, a man of his age asking a woman to show him the way. Bro, does he not realize that's meant to be the men showing the women the way? Well, depends on who you are, but some people may see that differently. But let's continue.
You're a grown man. You need to know that you don't make a woman happy by lashing out in anger. I feel like I made a mistake, and I feel like all my friends and family were right.
Those words right there must burn to hear, but must also burn to say, because we know how hell-bent she was to prove her family right. And also how hell-bent he was to prove them wrong.
And it got to the point where he was touching me in anger, like lashing out, pushing me, restraining me.
Made me more regret right now. I mean, I had to learn this. It's my fault. That's my fault, which makes me more regret.
So, just to give you a bit more context here, what he's basically talking about is that Shekinah finally finally said to him, listen, you're going to shut up, and I'm going to tell you about my experience for my ex. And then she leads on to tell him that, listen, I was in a relationship with a man who did everything for me, but then but he had a bad temper. And when the temper came, things didn't get nice. And upon hearing this is what he's now saying, that it's my fault that I never allowed her to tell me in the first place. Because obviously each time she tried to talk about an ex, he never wanted to hear nothing about it. And that's why he's saying that I'm happy to learn this now. Which, listen, the matter of the fact is, whether you're learning this information now, or if you learn it beforehand, there's still no reason to, of course, you know, be in a space where you're close enough to obviously, you know, harm the person that you love. So really and truly, it doesn't change anything whether you do that information or not, you know, because if you're, yeah. I don't need to say anything else. I think I made that point clear.
is 43 years old and he's never been held accountable for his actions in a relationship, and that is going to end here. Through all of the toxic relationships that I've been through is that unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that was a bar. Unconditional love doesn't mean unconditional tolerance. That's crazy. I want to use that one. Damn, that one's a powerful one. But let's be real. She's speaking nothing but facts there. And this is why, you know, anyone that's smart in this world will understand that love is not everything to keep a relationship going. Love is nowhere near enough for a relationship to be stable, for a relation to go to where it needs to go to. There is more than that. Okay, so much more elements to that. Now, those elements, they would differ depending on the people that are involved, because at the end of the day, the things I guess that would work for me and whoever I'm with would be completely different to what would work for you and whoever you're with, you know. And those are the things that are always going to be the most key things. Those are the things that usually are the foundation of your relationship. Love is never that. Love is just the bonus of being with someone and wanting to be connected to someone and having that feeling and knowing that you care for them, in my opinion. Either way though, we continue.
And a change. I need you to go to therapy. You're not in control of your own emotions.
So let's talk about this whole he needs to go to therapy. Now, I know something, which I'm going to say now. So I want you to go back to 90 Day Fiancé okay. So when Sophie and Rob were having a conversation, Rob spoke about how he's already doing therapy on his own accord. And then he followed by saying that I'm also doing therapy. And then he'll follow up by also saying that you and I should do therapy as well. Now, him mentioning the fact that he wanted to do therapy with Sophie, that was our hint to know that these two, or that was our confirmation that these two were going to be on the next season of The Last Resort. But like I said before that, he mentioned that he wanted, that he was doing therapy on his own accord. Shekinah mentions to Sarper here that maybe you should do therapy. I'm going to tell you why. Because 90 Day Fiancé have got another spin-off show coming out called 90 Day Single Life Last Resort. So this one is going to be therapy for singles. I may have got the title of the show wrong, but that's what I know. And also from my understanding, the film for it also has been finished as well. So yes, there is another show on the rise from 90 Day Fiancé. They are literally milking this 90 Day franchise. They are giving us more and more different spin-offs. It's a madness. I mean, on a content creator basis, it's a good thing for me personally. It gives me more content to obviously work with. But obviously on an oversaturated basis, yeah, it's damn, our brains are just being fried. Especially with the things that I'm hearing about how Discovery Plus no longer uploads things the day before like they used to, and also on top of that, on Max, you guys also have to wait until so and so for an episode to come on, so and so. It's kind of weird, but either way though, that is what I know, and that's what I've been told, and that has been told to me as a 100% thing. Given that I haven't been lied to, it's the truth. And I don't believe that I've been lied to neither. But either way though, which also tells me that when this scene was filmed, I strongly believe that they had already received the K1 visa, because for him to be on the show, now I don't know if he's going to be on the show, but this is my guess that he's going to be on the show. This would tell me that the K1 visa probably was already confirmed at this point. And, you know, some of the things obviously watching is a bit, scripted. Nonetheless though, let me know your thoughts regarding obviously this conversation that they had together, and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.